Hi everyone, this is Kasey Renee and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for taking the opportunity to watch my videos. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below as well as hitting the notification bell so you're alerted when I post new videos. To all of my current subscribers, thank you so much for giving me a chance and, watching my videos and commenting on my videos. I really appreciate all of the engagement and feedback and, just conversation. I'm not sure if any of you noticed, but I did actually post a video a few days ago, which was kind of like a recap or a review of Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition, the first episode in season 15. Phaedra and Hazel-E and Corrupt and everybody, people that I'm familiar with. So if you have an opportunity, I would encourage you to go take a look at that video. I know we have another episode coming up this Thursday, which I will be watching, and I will also do a recap on that, and we can chit chat in the comments about all the craziness that goes on Marriage Boot Camp. So let's get into tonight's case. Today we're going to be talking about the unfortunate death of Tanisha Pughsley. She is a 27-year-old young woman who lived in Montgomery, Alabama. She actually was a police detective for the Montgomery, Alabama Police Department. And unfortunately on Monday, July 6th, sometime around 2:30 or 2:50, 2 o'clock in the morning, she was unfortunately confronted by her ex-boyfriend Brandon Webster, and he ultimately took her life. Brandon ended up somehow making entry into their home that they owned together, but he was not living in, and shot Tanisha and took her life. He also attempted to take the life of a young man who was there at the time. His name is Jeremy Walker. I'm not sure if Mr. Walker is a family member or if he is a new person that Tanisha's dating, but Brandon also attempted to take his life as well. So Brandon ultimately was arrested. He is currently in the Montgomery County Detention Center being charged with 2 counts of capital murder as well as 1 count of attempted murder. Brandon was ultimately arrested and taken into custody by the U.S. Marshals, and he is now, like I said, in jail waiting for the outcome of trial. I will definitely be following this trial. I definitely want to know the outcome. But let's just talk a little bit about Tanisha, and then I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you all because there's 2 things that I just have some questions about. I want to know your thoughts on them. But first, let's talk about Tanisha. I don't know very much about her, but what I do know is that she was a beautiful young woman. She was apparently very driven, to be 27 years old and a police detective. That's a huge accomplishment. She had worked on the Montgomery Police Department police force since 2016. She graduated from Alabama State University with a criminal justice degree. So from just that alone, I gather that Tanisha was driven and she had goals for herself, and she was doing everything that she could to achieve those goals. She was even a homeowner at such a young age, 27 years old. At 27 years old, I wasn't even thinking about owning a home. I don't believe Tanisha has any children. So she, to me, seems like she was driven. She had a dream for herself and she was working towards that dream. I don't know much about Brandon other than the fact that he's 24 years old, so he is relatively young. He's a little younger than Tanisha. They are both very young to be homeowners and to be in this situation. And that brings me to one of the questions that I have for you guys, and I really want to know your opinion, so leave your comments down below. And I'll, as always, try to give my feedback and we can have a conversation. But my question is, how do you all feel about, or what do you all think about the fact that Tanisha and Brandon were not married and decided to make such a large purchase, like purchasing a home together? I don't know how long they've been dating or how long they have been together, but I still feel like my personal opinion is I feel like purchasing a home when you're just dating, especially that young, is not really a good idea. And I just think that by doing it, it made it so much more difficult for her to break away from Brandon. Even once she found out that he was violent and abusive, I'm pretty sure that the tie that bound them was this house that they couldn't just walk away from, and which is proven in the fact that even in the restraining order, the judge ordered him to stay away from her. He ordered him to not have any contact with her. Only contact he was supposed to have with her was to talk about the purchase or potential sale of the property. I just think it's so unfortunate that they made that decision, and I feel like that contributed to her losing her life, because at the end of the day, I mean, it possibly could have. I may want to take that back, because when I think about it, Brandon probably could have found her even if he didn't have her address. If he wanted to find her, I'm sure he could have found her, but that could have possibly created another barrier, or maybe given him some more time to think or process what he was doing, because at the end of the day, he was, if she had a place that he didn't know about or didn't know where she was, he would have to kind of go through some lengths to find out where she lived, and to even continue contact with her outside of the, abusive text messages and calls and all of that stuff. And she could have actually changed her number. I wonder if, obviously they had to have some sort of contact, because they had this huge purchase that they both owned together that they were trying to get rid of, basically. So she had to have his phone number, and he had to have hers, or some means to contact her. So let me know what you all think about that in the comments down below. I just really feel like if they did not have this property together, that could have been another thing to just create distance and space between them. And unfortunately, it didn't. It made them, owning this property together kept the ties. You know what I'm saying? I kind of feel like it just kept them tied together. And the other question I have, which kind of annoys me a little bit, and it's got me thinking, and I wanted to do some research before I came on tonight, but I just want to present it to you all right now, and maybe some of you know or have an idea. But I was just thinking, so when she went to get the restraining order, and the judge realized that, yes, this man is, she's afraid for her life. She doesn't feel comfortable being around him. He's already put his hands on her. And, they have this monkey wrench of owning this property. I'm wondering, why didn't the judge, when he ruled that Brandon was not to have any contact with her, I'm wondering why the judge did not also rule that in addition to them having minimal contact to discuss the sale of the property, I'm wondering why he did not require that they, any sort of contact or communication to discuss the sale of the property had to be done with like another third party involved, or through a third party. So there would really be no reason to have any sort of contact with her whatsoever, because I think, he's young. That could be something that he clung to or held on to, which was, oh, I got to talk to her about this property, or, oh, I got to see what she's doing because she's over there in my house. I'm sure that was a lot of his mindset, because that's just how people are. It's my place too. I have a right, all of that kind of nonsense. So I wonder if the judge would have ordered them to, use a third party, someone who has no connection to their relationship, as the mediator or the person that they would have to communicate with regarding the sale of the property, if that would have helped kind of distance them a little further. I just think it's so unfortunate, and I don't know what else could have really been done to protect Tanisha. Sometimes people just aren't in their right minds, and when they do, even with the restraining order, we know people obviously still don't care, and they still do things that they shouldn't do. They still, stalk and harass people that they shouldn't have any contact with. So I don't know that there's anything else that could have been done, but I just feel like if maybe the judge would have put in another barrier, that it could have possibly deterred him from, being involved. If he knew, okay, there's another person that's going to prevent me from being in contact with her, I have to talk to this other person, I can't really talk to her, then maybe the outcome would have been different. It's just really sad to me. I think that they're both very young. She's very young, but he's younger. And to to not be in your right mind and to take someone's life because they don't want to be with you anymore, or, you know, and to be so young. I mean, they just started this whole process of dating and relationships and all that stuff, to be honest. And for him to just feel like there's no hope and he just had to take her life, that just sounds so crazy to me. And I just feel so bad for her and her family. You know, she, like I said, by everything that I've seen, she was just trying to do everything right. She wasn't, you know, she had a great job. She was starting her career, her future. She was already a detective. I think all police departments require you to be a road cop first. So she was progressing in her job. She went to college. She was trying to make something of herself, and she just made one mistake, which was to get involved with the wrong person. And I just feel kind of it's heartbreaking to think about it. And I just wish we can, you know, I wish there was something that could be done to, you know, just kind of help people see the signs, you know, like, I'm sure there were signs, before the initial incident of him slapping her in the face. So I wish that, you know, she would have acted on those signs and then maybe talked to somebody else who could have possibly helped her, you know, get away from this dude, you know? I mean, it's just, to me, unimaginable. She's a police officer and she couldn't even get away from him. The restraining order still didn't protect her, and she's law enforcement, which is crazy. I mean, I wonder if she could have even had a police officer periodically drive by her home. You know, that's another thought. Let me know down in the comments below what you all think about this case. I really don't have much more to share with you all on it, other than I will definitely be following it. I want to see what actually happens. I want to hear some more details to know what drove Brandon to do this, or what his mindset is. But yeah, you guys, that's really all I have for you tonight on this particular case. I just really hope that women, young women, older women, I hope all women start taking into account that we have to be extremely careful about the people that we get in, you know, in relationships with. And not even just women. Now, we have to be careful about the type of people that we get involved with. And I think we also should be like a support system for some of our girlfriends and cousins and nieces, and when they're younger and dealing with people who they may not be able to see the signs or notice certain things that someone a little bit more mature may notice. And I just really hope that we can work on starting to be a support for one another in those types of situations. We've all been there, where you're in your 20s and you're dating these guys and they just seem okay. I mean, and you're not really thinking too much about it because you're just dating them. It's not like sometimes you don't even have the intention to marry them. I don't know what the circumstances were with Tanisha and Brandon. I mean, they did make a seriously large purchase and a very important purchase together. So I don't know, maybe they originally were in a state of thinking about getting married, or, you know, something like that. But I don't know. I just wish that there was some way that we can all kind of talk to young women, teenage girls, what have you, about just being cautious. Everybody makes mistakes, but just being cautious. So yeah, that's really all I have for you on this particular case. If you, like I said, leave your comments down below. I'm definitely interested to know your thoughts on, you know, and opinions on making these types of purchases when you're just in a relationship and not necessarily married to the person. I also want to know your thoughts on how the judge who handled the restraining order, if you feel like something else could have been done or should have been done to protect her. I do, like I said, I think a couple of things. As I think about it, the judge probably should have said 0 contact whatsoever, and any contact about the sale of the property should have been through a third party. The judge probably should have also told her, hey, talk to your sergeant or somebody at the police department and see if they can get someone to, you know, kind of patrol, do a wellness, whatever, little quick wellness ride around, maybe once a day, or, you know, I don't know, once a week or something as a deterrent. I don't know if it would have worked, but these are just all options and suggestions, just things I'm coming with off the top of my head to to see if there was something that could have been done. And I just really want to know what you all think about that. And that's really all I have for you on this. Like I said, we'll be following it, and I'll update you as soon as I get any additional information. So thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to check out my last video on the recap about season 15, episode 1 of Marriage Boot Camp, Hip Hop Edition. Let me know what you all think about that, and stay tuned for episode 2 recap, which will probably be posted on Friday. And I think I'm gonna have a little bit of a surprise for you guys on that one. So that's all I have for you. Take care and be safe, guys. Bye.